God's example of work. Then God said, "Let us make man in our own image, in our own likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." Genesis 1 verse 26. God had a purpose for you before creating you. Because God said, "Let us make man in our own image, in our own likeness." God made you in His own image and in His own likeness. And He continues to say, "Let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." God created you to be a manager, to manage what He created, to rule over what He created in the earth. What is your purpose on earth is what God created you to do. You are not an accident. You were created by purpose and for a purpose. You're here to make a difference, to manage and to rule over what God created. You're not a mistake. Focus on God. By the seventh day, God had finished the work He has been doing. So on the seventh day, He rested from all His work. Genesis 2 verse 2. By the seventh day, God had finished the work He has been doing. Then He rested. He had finished. So a week consists of 7 days. So on the seventh day, He rested from all His work. So when you rest on the seventh day, what will you say of the seventh day? That you did good on the sixth day, or did you do good over all the 6 days? What will you say when you sit down on the seventh day, when you reflect over the 6 days? Will you say you achieved something? And did you lay expectation and you failed on them? What will you say? That it is good you have rested this day because the past 6 days you have done good, and good is continuing to come to you. Will you rest and be re-strengthened on the seventh day, or will you regret what you did on those 6 days, that you did not put enough effort, enough wisdom into that, enough strength? You did not perform according to your capabilities in that work you wanted to do the whole week, the 6 days you had. Because time goes and we don't control time. We just align ourselves with time and try to do our work by the time ends, before the day ends. So focus on God. Focus on what God wants you to do, and you will never regret. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son or your daughter, nor your manservant or your maidservant, nor your animals, nor the aliens within your gates. Exodus 20 verse 8 to 10. God wants us to remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days we work and labor, but on the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord our God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son or daughter, or your manservant or maidservant, nor your animals, nor the aliens within your gates. You should not work on that day. Focus on God. Keep it holy. Put God first.